couple of months ago, Eyewitness News, ABC7 in New York City, covered an extortion scam bait that I posted on my YouTube channel, Fraud Monitor. And ever since, I've gotten a steady stream of viewers that emailed me that, hey, they've been contacted by the same guy that I scam baited, or some other similar scams claiming the victim owes them money for prostitutes. And the criminals don't even care how old the victim is, going so low as to scam someone as young as 17. Let's take a look at this coverage, and then I'll bring up an example of one of the emails I received.
Several on your side with a warning about a surge in alarming scams as part of our series of reports for National Consumer Protection Week. The Federal Trade Commission says the number of scams reported went up by a whopping 25% in just 1 year, and the agency is seeing threats of violence increase. 7 on your side's Ina Pineda shows us a frightening extortion scheme with a surprising target.
Threats from arrest to financial ruin, even bodily harm, are getting more popular. What you're about to see and hear is an extortion attempt in progress, captured by a fraud expert who was randomly targeted.
You think there's a game, right? I'm going to your location, and if you're not there, one of your family members...
Let's go, boss.
We'll have to pay for this.
Let's go.
Are you listening to me, you stupid?
This threatening video clip was sent after a cryptic phishing text, one that hints at knowing what websites the recipient has been looking at.
This guy thought he could extort me with aggressive threats, creepy messages, and intimidation tactics.
But these scammers picked the wrong guy. Michael Bordash runs a YouTube channel called The Fraud Monitor and is head of research at a company called Cineverse, which sits at the intersection of all global telecom networks to see how scam messaging moves across carriers.
So to interrupt here, yeah, I do work at Cineverse, and part of what we do is to block this type of scam from even getting to consumers' devices. And with Fraud Monitor, what I do is typically I grab some of the most egregious examples and I pretend to be a victim in order to get more details about who the perpetrators are, where they're located, and get that information to law enforcement and the mobile operators that we work with. Extortion scammers are amongst the worst people on the planet. These cowards hide behind fake profiles, make fake threats, have huge bravado, and they try to terrify innocent people into sending them money.
Bordash got the scammer on the phone, then recorded the entire call so we can hear the voices of the scammers in action.
How are we going to square this up?
I don't understand where it came from. I think you have the wrong person.
You have to pay my money. You can pay me in cash. I can send my people to go ahead and pick it up. We can go to your house right now if you like.
The callers claim to have text messages, which could ruin Bordash's life, a common tactic used to extort money.
Block the contact. They won't be able to call you. They won't be able to text you. Do not reply. Do not negotiate. Do not send any more money or materials. Block them everywhere. Paying almost always leads to more demands.
If you are targeted, preserve evidence. Any screenshots, emails, video, and audio, do not delete, do not pay, and report to the FTC. We put a link on our website. Any information can help authorities really block and stop these scammers from getting our money.
This is not the first time I talk with Nina. I did another segment with her back in December about SMS QR code scams. So Nina's doing a fantastic job on exposing all these scams that hit consumers. And I really thank her and the Eyewitness News team for picking up our stories. If you feel threatened, you can also call your local police department and file a report. Call the non-emergency number and let them know that this happened and record your information. Simply ask them if they get this type of call often, and invariably they will say, yeah, this happens all the time. So you're not alone, right? They constantly look for numbers, they constantly buy numbers, and they try to scare you in order for you to give them their money. But if you block them or you scam bait them, which I don't recommend you doing, I recommend you just simply move on with your life, block them, and forget about them. They will simply move on to the next target. They will typically not get a new phone number and try to contact you again, although I've heard cases where they might do that. But just as Nina puts here, record what happened, screenshot the emails, video, audio, don't delete anything yet, keep it as evidence. Of course, do not pay and report to the FTC. Don't be afraid to tell other people what happened and get some support for yourself. Since that report, I've gotten several communications into the Fraud Monitor email describing what has happened to them as being very similar, and in this case, sounded like the same guy. Contacted this individual here. Dear Fraud Monitor, just wanted to email because I needed some weight lifted off my shoulders. I'm a 17-year-old kid, and when I received these messages and calls, I was scared for not just my life, but also my family's. Your video, though, made me realize that you actually talked to the same individual with the Richmond, Virginia number that threatened me. This is true. I tracked the guys down to a Richmond Verizon phone number. He said the same thing, where I wasted his girl's time and made me lose him $3,000 and 3 VIP members. Even after telling them I was a minor, he still pressed me. I haven't received anything else from him other than being texted my first and last name from a random Louisville number since the day of the scammer reaching out to me. Overall, I'm feeling better about the situation after watching your video and realizing the same man with the same voice was doing the same thing to you. It's consumed my thoughts for about 4 days now, and it's good to know I'm not only safe, but not the only one who has dealt with this. I'm going to provide screenshots of the man who texted me below. P.S. I've blocked every number and every WhatsApp and haven't responded to anything further. I did reply to him and acknowledge that this happens to a lot of people. I did give the advice to talk to his parents or guardians. I think first to let them know this happened. And if he feels threatened, to call the non-emergency number at the police department and report it. These things do matter and these things do work. Here's some screenshots from the criminal. When you have the $500, everything's solved. The poor kid says, hey, and as long as I get it to you, somehow you leave me alone. Yes, sir. The reason I'm so scared is I don't want me or my family to have to fear for our lives just because of internet mess up. I'm not even out of high school yet. They don't care how old you are. These pieces of excrement will go after anybody that picks up the phone or responds to their text. These are vultures. I'm a 17-year-old, sir, and I was just messing around on the internet. Answer the call to explain yourself. Okay, give me a second. Call me now. My kids know what I do for a living, and they very freely tell me and show me texts that they get. And they're not afraid to show me those texts that may be a little hard to read. So if you're a parent of kids, I would even show them this video, let them know that this happens, and maybe they could be going through something similar. They need to know they've done nothing wrong, and they're not alone, and there's things you can do to prevent this from escalating any further. Thanks for your time today, and stay safe out there, and know before you click.